that I had sent before we go to another one? Srihari?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Okay, so what have you understood and what you have not understood?
Um, Actually, as I said, I couldn't get real deep into that. But now, when I glance at it, the Brahman is shown as light.
Hmm.
Atma is also shown as light.
Hmm.
Okay, so there is a resemblance from the picture that both are one and the same, or the light part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then awareness, feelings, and perception are the attributes of mind, which uses intellect to move in four directions that have been portrayed, and those are also have an influence with the senses, the five senses, and the body.
Hmm.
So this is what is depicted in the figure, as I understand.
Yes, so yesterday I wanted to, based upon what we discussed yesterday about how mind, intellect, everything works, I thought about doing it like a pictorial representation. Okay,
Yeah, actually, this is just exactly the same as we discussed yesterday.
correct.
But then Atma and Brahman are the same. That's what we are trying to achieve.
No, here, if you really see, the mind side, it is the feelings and perception. And the Atma side, which is towards this Brahman, is the
Uh-huh.
awareness.
Okay.
Okay. What it gets aware of? It gets aware of feelings. So it gets awareness of the painful feelings, dukkha, vedana. Then it becomes aware of the sukha vedana, which is nothing but the pleasurable feeling, and a neutral feeling also it will have. So, this human body, what we are seeing here on the other side of it, because of the skin and the flesh and all of that, which we covered in the Vivekachudamani, looks pretty, but beneath that is this thing called as skeleton.
Hmm.
So, what we should have seen is a skeleton, but what we are seeing is the flesh. See, it has nervous system, it has blood vessels, it has kidney, liver, intestine, and all of that.
Hmm.
But what is seen by the mind due to wrong intellect, meaning wrong intellect means this intellect is turned towards the senses. So this becomes a sense object. This man and the woman who are standing there becomes a sense object. So if I turn to the right hand side of that, I might not get interested much. But the moment I put my eyes on the left hand side, I get interested in some parts of that feminine body or some part of the masculine body. But if I see on the right hand side, which is bare skeleton, there is nothing to feel, it's only neutral feeling. So the sight, sound, smell, taste, touch creates a perception of a unity or a unit. So I call this as a woman standing there. But actually speaking, it is just the bone which is standing there. There's nothing else other than the bone. So the Atma, which is a portion of what we call as Purusha or Brahman, and the prana which is coming from the Prakriti, is what is this woman or the man walking, talking, eating, sitting, standing, all of that. But in reality, if we see, it is the bone which is sitting, the bone which is standing, the bone which is moving, the bone. And in fact, we get hurt. If somebody were to hit, he will hit only using his bone. The flesh is very soft, so you will get that hurt feeling in that part, because either it touches the bone or it touches something which is having the pain receptors, which are the nerves. So now in that case, where is I to feel the pain, or I not to feel the pain? So this is what we are able to see in this image. What should be actually the bone for contemplation, thinking, knowing that this is me standing there, I would not do that. I would in fact feel that there is some lady and some guy standing there. And then I might, my automatically my karma or the passion which I have for feminine might start to take shape the moment I see a feminine part, even though it is half part seemingly feminine. This feeling and perception, what I'm getting through the wrong awareness, or sorry, wrong intellect, which becomes aware of something which is coming through the five senses, gives the mind a distractive idea, saying that, oh, here is a woman, you should be marrying her or keeping her or doing something. This atma is baddha, meaning it is bound to the five senses. So it keeps on appearing and disappearing all the time. As I see, it appears. As I don't see, it disappears. As I hear, it appears. As I don't hear, it disappears. As I nose, as I smell, it appears. If I'm not smelling it, it disappears. As I touch, it appears. As I not touch, it disappears. As I taste, it appears. As I taste, I'm not tasting, it disappears. And all of this is reflected through the mind. And mind feels that it is doing it. So it keeps on accumulating pleasure and pain cycle. So this is the meaning of this entire mind map, what I created, to show how Brahman, Atma, intellect, mind, senses, sense object, body gets connected. Meaning the Brahman has got nothing to do with this part at all. But it seems as though that it has a connection. So the moment you see in Advaita view, Atma and Brahma becomes one. As soon as you are not able to see that and say that no, I am different and that is different, it becomes Advaita. It becomes Dvaita. So now we are in a Dvaita view. Did I answer?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. If you want, we can go even more deeper than this. With the
Yeah,
same.
maybe,
Yeah.
I'm interested in this. Atma equals to Purusha plus Prana. So can we have a short, can you please explain that?
So, yeah, there I have written. So, what is prana?
Prana.
What do you understand by prana?
No idea what else. Maybe it is related to the body or the
No, prana is in English, if you were to say it, is a life source. It
life
is
source. Okay.
okay. This is called as the Jivita Indriya. It senses the life.
It senses the
Life.
life. Okay.
Okay. So, whatever you call as life is because of the prana. And this prana is part of Prakriti, matter. Meaning, Prakriti is Ananta, Purusha is also Ananta. They both are Ananta. and they both are anadi, that is, there is no beginning and there is no end. Okay, so you
Okay.
cannot find the starting of Prakriti, not possible. It will be, even if you take thousands of births, you cannot find how Prakriti happened, how nature happened, and why it happened, and who made it happen. So then we have to come up with this creator theory that some god created it. And then the question comes, why did he create it? So this is called Maya Jala. Okay, so there's no point in looking at it. So what Shankara did is he said, yes, there is this Maya and appears in Brahman. Simple. Now a question can be asked, why it should appear only in Brahman? Now there is no answer to that. So we have to go with a postulate that Purusha is separate, Prakriti is separate. The prana can be very well thought about like the uh, charger in the laptop. It charges and it can run that laptop. So from the food what you eat, the prana enters inside. From the air what you breathe, prana enters inside. And from the cosmos, or the cosmic, what we call as cosmos, cosmic, whatever, again the prana enters inside. So even if you are not breathing, the prana will be entering inside. So basically, until the age of 50, normally, lot of prana enters inside and no prana enters outside. And after 50 onwards, the 50 to 60, during that period, the prana keeps on reducing. The amount of prana which is taken inside is lesser than the amount of prana which comes out. And then after 60 to 70, that age group, people, if you see, their prana keeps on reducing no matter what they are eating. So they cannot maintain it for a long period of time because the prana is coming out. And from 70 to 80, if you see, they become even more feeble because that prana is only going out, the prana is not going in. That means even if they are eating rice and dal or sambar or rasam or curds or whatever they are eating, the conversion of the prana is very less because the prana has to go out more. It is getting destroyed. When I say destroyed, it has been in disintegration cycle forever. So in the Charaka Samhita also, he talks about this disintegration cycle and he says that there need not be any reason for disintegration of dhatus, the seven dhatus. So that's the nature. You cannot say that I will change the nature. Nobody can change the nature. You can only accept that this is what happens in the nature. So this dhatus keeps on changing. Now, the Purusha is the one which is making non-integratable integratable. I'll tell you what it means. This feeling that I the body, this feeling that I the mind, I the intellect, all of that is because of this association with Purusha. So the Prakriti now can identify itself that I am this. So that act of combining is Maya. This combining effect is the Maya. That appears in Brahman because this disintegration as integration is the Maya. And that we call as Loka, world. So the world is made out of five senses plus five external thing called as objects, Vishaya, plus five elements and the five tanmatras, all taken 20, and the perceiver through which it perceives, that is the mind. Then the person who gives intellectual knowledge, that's called buddhi. And then the person who feels that I am the feeler, as in the case of the Ahankara, and then the Mula Prakriti of Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, that forms what we can consider as the Loka. And the Purusha makes this Loka look real. All are disintegratable, meaning the body of the five elements disintegrates all the time. The tanmatras, the sparsha, rasa, and the rupa, and all of that, they disintegrate. Then the five indriyas, they also disintegrate. Okay. Then the five jnana indriya, that is karma indriyas, that also disintegrate. And the buddhi also disintegrates. And the ahankara also disintegrates. Then the manas, that also disintegrates. Everything is a disintegratable element having its own energy, and that energy is the prana, which moves around the body as circulation. So we call it as samana. No, sorry. So there is prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So the circulatory function, then you have the movement function, then you have the breathing function, then you have the excreting function. So each of these pranas will take care of each one of these exercises. And the person who gets aware of it is the Purusha. Because of the Purusha, everything gets manifested in terms of awareness. So now you can say, here exists this laptop, there exists my home, there exists ABB, there exists something like that. So we can then recognize and do all of this because of that very Purusha. So when we say Atma, Atma is nothing but a combination of this Purusha and the Prana. So Atma only has awareness because its association with what we call as Brahman, or also called as Purusha, or also called as Atman, can be used. They use three of these depending upon where it is used. But generally this is called as universal consciousness or supreme consciousness or whatever we want to call. So this is the consciousness. Mind can only feel and perceive and uses the intellect to move in one way or the other way. So yesterday I was giving you the example of the 500 rupee note, where a person can take that 500 rupees, pocket it, another person can donate it, another person can just walk away from it. All the three are possible. So mind is not a fixed thing. It's as disintegratable as any other we spoke just now. So it arises and passes away in the consciousness. With the five indriyas coming up, it arises. With the five indriyas going away, it also collapses. Then again, five indriyas coming up, it arises, and the five indriyas going away, it collapses. It also has a smriti jnana. That is, smriti jnana is part of intellect, wherein it memorizes. So mind uses the intellect, and hence it can immediately put back whatever is required from wherever it is and try enjoying or suffering along with that. Let us say a bad event has happened to me and I can go back to 15 years, 20 years in my life to recall it and then face the same thing right now. Even though right now that the time is different, my body is different, everything is different, the situation is different, but the mind has the capacity to bring it up because it can reflect the consciousness which is shown as Atma. Because Atma is turned towards the mind. It is not, mind is not turned towards the Atma. So this is what we are trying to break. The breaking of this is to make the intellect and the mind turn towards the Atma. So that becomes self-realization. So the intellect and the mind realizes that it is not they themselves who have this power. is because of the Atma. And Atma also comes to know that it is not because it itself has it, it is because the Purusha is doing it and breaks the association with the Prakriti once and for all. And that is called as liberation. So, in a living life, we can go to the fourth level, which is called as Turiya. So, Atma gets established in itself. Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam, or this Bhagavad Gita, if you have read the second chapter, where Krishna explains what is the meaning of the Sthita Prajna. So, Arjuna asks him, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. So how does he sit and how does he stand and all that is the question he asks him. And Krishna answers in a nice way of what it is and how you should understand who is a Sthita Prajna. What's the meaning of it and who is that person who can be called a Sthita Prajna. Did I answer?
Yes, a lot actually. Yeah.
Okay, good. So we have 5 more minutes, so we can further investigate on the questions rather than going on the Vivekachudamani.
Okay. So when we do the puja or the one of the step is a prana pratisthapana.
Hmm.
So what the psychologically what was told to be done is the prana pratisthapana is the whoever the god or goddess or whatever the form we are trying to worship has to be taken within us as outside and pratisthapana, and once we say yadasthana pravesyami, then it is yadasthanam is back into us or something like that.
Correct.
So this is the kind of feeling that or the kind of mindset and way we have to do while doing this puja or this, yeah.
Correct.
So is it the same thing? Or what exactly is the what for that mean?
Yes, the prana is the life source. In the prana pratishtha means is to establish. In the deity to whom you are praying or doing something, you have the ability to create the life in that through yourself. As you do that there, it lights up inside you.
Okay.
Okay. So now let us say I have a Ganpati statue in front of me. Okay.
Hmm.
Through mantra invocation, okay, keeping the mantra in my mouth, what I can then do is to apply my prana on the mantra. Then the mantra gets energized. And then I pass that to the Ganesha idol.
Hmm.
So now my
Okay.
prana has established itself in Ganesha.
Hmm.
So whatever I now think is also thought by Ganesha.
Okay.
And since Ganesha is God, right?
Okay.
So his thinking will be pure, right?
His thinking will be what?
Pure.
Pure. Yeah.
So just like I and you are talking, you want to learn something from me, and I have to learn something from you. So we both are having prana already, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there is no doubt in both of us that we don't have prana. We have prana, right?
Yep.
Now, all my thought process, what I am passing it on to you through this, you are able to grasp it.
Yes.
Now, what is this grasping? It is you are creating a prana pratishtha in that other person.
Hmm. Okay.
Now, when you give me that knowledge to me, what happens? I am establishing that prana in myself.
Okay.
So now we both have exchanged what? What did we exchange?
The pure form of consciousness. Yeah.
Yes, the pure form of consciousness which becomes thought oriented. I pass my thoughts, you pass your thoughts. Correct?
Yeah.
See, actually, the concept what I'm explaining to you is just a concept, right? And when you say a concept, there is nothing that can be demonstrated, right?
Yeah.
But you are able to understand, right?
Mm.
So there is a cognition through which you are able to understand.
Yes.
So when you explain it back to me, whatever or you question me, I'm able to understand your question. When I say I can understand the question, I can cognize it. That is, there is a thought reflection. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
How is this possible? This is possible due to prana.
Okay.
So can we see the thoughts? Is there a possibility of seeing the thought?
No.
No. But is there a possibility of experiencing the thought?
Yes.
Yes. Same thing you are doing on the prana pratishta. So whatever you are praying to the God, you are actually praying to yourself. You
Mm.
understand? See, that Ganesha is not going to tell me what I should do. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Because I have created a prana pratishta, it seems as though he is going to tell me what I should do.
Okay.
Because I have invoked it. When I say invocation, it is this exactly what I am doing. And in English, they use the word called invocation, prayer. Correct?
Yeah.
So when I say Shuklam, Bharadaram, Vishnum, or if I say Ganapati mantra or whatever, Gajananam, Bhuta Ganadi Sevitam, Kapitta Jambu, Falasara Pakshitam, Umasutam, Shoka Vigna Vinasha Karanam, Namami Vigneshwara, Pada Pankajam. If I were to say that, then what is that I am trying to do? Through the mantra, I am putting my prana and passing it on to the deity. Whether it is a photographed deity or it is an idol deity or whatever it is. So I'm imagining it. So when I say Gajananam Bhuta Ganadi Sevitam, so now all established in all the Bhuta, you are Kapitta Jambo Falasara Bhakshitam. So you will accept food from whomever without expecting anything. Uma Sutam, that is your son of Uma. Shoka Vigna Vinasha Karanam. So you are able to remove the sorrow and the obstacles. Vigna is the obstacle. Karanam. The Karanam is the cause of that, these obstacles. Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam. Your Pada Pankaja is a lotus. So you have a lotus feet. So I am prostrating to your lotus feet. Okay, this is the mantra. Who is sending the prana?
I'm sending the prana.
Yes, you are sending the prana. So then who has the power of creation?
I have the creation.
You have the power of creation. How are you creating? Either through prana. Are you able to create through prana?
Yes.
No. You require purusha
And with the
also.
help of mantra.
No, you require purusha also.
Okay. That's where this Purusha. Okay. Mm.
You require purusha. So now what you have done is you have done an atma pratishta.
But isn't that an object for the mind?
Yes, it is itself an object for the mind. So that is the
Mind.
reason we create idols.
Mm.
See, since I cannot understand the reality, what I should do, I should create an idol.
Okay.
Okay, so now I can keep on telling one or the other stotras or shlokas or whatever. Like this, you have this Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvaruka
Nirvandana.
Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyam Amrutat. So I can say that, and it is representing Shiva, right?
Yeah.
Have I seen Shiva?
No.
No. Where is Shiva right now? Don't tell me
Shiva
he's
is
in
in,
Kailasa.
no, he is in my thoughts.
He is in your thought. He is in my thought. So that means he is in the mind.
He is in the mind.
I am putting a prana into that.
Okay.
and passing it down. So I keep a lingam and I do the puja,
Mm.
believing that lingam is indeed Shiva.
Yeah.
So I finish all my prayers and I put it in the box and I get out of the temple what I built within my home.
Mm.
Then when I'm out, what happened to the prana there in that idol? When I finish,
When I finish, we take back the prana into us.
yeah. So you again make it as a rock.
Yeah.
So now what has happened? You have purified your mind through this activity. Now the prana has got reprocessed. I had an earlier a bad prana. Now I have gone to the Shiva and he has blessed me through the mantra or whatever I have offered him and the food I have offered him. So I call that as Naivedya. So Naivedya is a process of offering something to the God to please that God and bless me with whatever I'm asking. So after that,
Vilas, I need to leave now.
yeah,
But we
sure,
can
sure.
continue.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Bye.
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 So I need to do all of this in order to make sure that my prana is now purified. So the mind gets purified and my thoughts gets purified.
Okay.
So you require both. You require purusha, you require prana.
Mm. Okay. Clear. Clear. Thank you for that. Yeah.
No issues. So shall we also
Uh,
end then? Sorry.
yeah. One other question. I mean,
Yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead. I'm free. I'm okay.
so there was one thing about Runa Anubandha.
Ah, Runanubandha.
Runanubandha.
Correct.
There are three types of runas normally that I hear. One is Pitru Runa, uh, Rushi Runa, and Deva Runa.
Hmm.
So, what is this all about?
I think I'd explained to you when I also said that I got into my earlier life of explaining the same thing to you.
Okay.
So you have the Janivara, right? What you are wearing.
Yeah.
So now that is having these three runas.
Mm.
It is Pitru Runa means you have got the sperm
Okay.
for you to exist in this life.
Mm.
So he has given you the gift of life. That is, he has ensured that you have a body now to experience. That is the Pitru Runa. Then you have a Guru Runa. Okay, the teacher. Because he is
Okay.
going to teach whatever he is going to teach you. Okay, which is the Dharitri or the place where you stay,
Okay.
which is giving you food. So even if you call Deva, they are ultimately giving you the food, right?
Yeah.
They're blessing you with all of that. So first and foremost, you should cut the link of this Runa by becoming very much grateful or to that person. That is, you should have this kritagnate or you have this kritagnya. Okay, what's the meaning of it is that it is called in English as this gratefulness. You feel very much grateful for what you have got in this life. That will
Okay.
cut the Deva Runa, because God has given you all of this, right?
Yeah.
So you're happy. So you're contented. Guru Runa will cut when you are happy with your Guru and you come back after you have found the Brahman, meaning after you've experienced Brahman, you will come back and explain to the Guru who taught you how did you learn this and what he should be doing. So then the Runa of the Guru is gone.
Okay.
Then you are going to come back to your father and make him realize this in this life to the best of your ability. Then your Runa of that Pitru is also God. So
Okay.
then your Janivara is of no use because Anubandha is not there. Runa Anubandha. Runa means debt.
Yeah.
You have to give something.
Yeah.
So now I've given all.
Mm. So one is for the being gratefulness for whatever the God has given.
Yes.
Second one is going back to the Guru and then seeking the path forward.
No,
Or
you
to
are teaching
filter.
him.
Sorry?
You are teaching him.
Teaching Guru.
Yes. After
Okay.
you have become a Brahmagnani,
Mm.
you are teaching him if he is still not a Brahmagnani. If he is
Okay.
already a Brahmagnani, you are surrendering yourself to him saying that thank you so much.
Okay.
And now you relieve me
Mm.
from the bandhana.
Mm.
So he will relieve you. He will relieve you by
Okay.
cutting that one of the link.
Okay. For the Pitru
Pitru Runa
for
is
the
he has
father.
given you that life, so you have to go and teach him how to become a Brahmagnani.
Okay.
So then you have done your duty.
Mm.
The three runas are taken care.
Okay. Clear. Thank you. Thank you, Vilas. Thank you.
No issues. Anytime.
I think yesterday's and today's class are very valuable and then they are really in depth. So I think
I can go even further more depth if you are interested.
well, while there is definite interest, I think it is very necessary to digest it.
Yes.
So I will have to take it
Yes.
more listening of these two sessions.
Yes. Maybe tomorrow also we can spend time on questions rather than going through the Vivekachudamani like what we are doing.
Hmm.
So you go through it and let me know which of the shlokas in the Vivekachudamani you have tried and what is your experience, what are the questions you have.
Okay,
I think that would be good.
sure, we'll try that. Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you then. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.